Are you dealing with chaos, clutter, and a feeling of lack of control? Then this episode is going to get you more organized.
You're listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. He's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Hello and welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host, and today we're going to talk about the 5 things stopping you from being organized in your life. So if you are dealing with that chaos, clutter, and a feeling of lacking control, I get it. You've got a lot going on in your life. If you want to feel more calm and in control, then join me in this episode and listen up, because I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes that I keep seeing people make. You're going to be able to stop doing it so that you can get back into the driver's seat. This topic today, 5 things stopping you from being organized in your life, it came from a question in my Dynamic Women global community, the Facebook group. The question was asked of what challenging thing are you working through these days? And one of the responses was that I'm not organized in my life, or I'm trying to get organized in my life. And I'm hearing that a lot recently from clients, from people in my community. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about today are the 5 things that I see as obstacles, the 5 things that are really pushing against people to be able to be more organized. So let me ask you, are you dealing with chaos, clutter, and feeling a lack of control? And I get it, because you have a lot going on, right? You're busy with maybe kids, a job, maybe you volunteer, you have hobbies, you maybe have a spouse, a partner, or other important people in your life that you take care of. Now, if you want to be more calm, more in control, and then you need to join me as I go through these 5 mistakes, because I want to get you back into the driver's seat. Let's go into it. First, I want to talk about what is being organized? Well, I went to the Cambridge Dictionary to figure that out, because I thought, let's go to the experts to say just what is organized. And it really comes into 2 areas. One, making arrangements for something to happen. So that's a verb, to make arrangements for something to happen. For example, I organized a meeting, or I organized a car to meet me at the airport so that I could, use it for my trip. The other way is to do or arrange something according to a particular system. So the books were organized on the shelves according to their size, or the secretary was busy organizing the files. These are some examples that they gave. And so you can see how organization can be organizing that thing, that event, or it can be to be organized in how you put something together. And so I feel like this person, it's more in around arranging their life, around arranging the processes for things like maybe your space, your home, your desk, your office, and then getting into the processes and the systems that you do around your business. And then other areas of life like health, maybe in your personal development. And so the idea to arrange or organize things in your life so that you feel more calm, that you're on top of things. Because what happens is when we're not organized, things fall through the cracks, right? So you forget that you had a meeting, or you can't find a specific paper or item that you needed. And it was really important. And a lot of times it comes down to a couple of problems. One, there's just not enough time to get it all done, or you don't know how to organize it. So I'm going to leave things like organizing a closet out of the conversation today. And I'm going to talk more about different areas of life. And so I'm going to go through these 5 things. I want you to think, is this something that I 100% do in the positive? Am I, good with this one and I don't need to worry about it? Or are there ways that I need to implement a little bit more? Okay, so let's go through them. The first problem that I see in people not being organized, the reason is They're trying to focus on everything, right? So maybe they have a job and they have a side job or a side business, or they are doing a lot of volunteer work, plus they're doing this project. Or even if you're just doing one business, you're doing so many things in your business that it's really hard to stay on top of everything. And because you're doing so many things, the doing is okay, but maybe the completion isn't there. Or maybe you're, bouncing between things. And so the time from start to finish just takes forever. And when you try and focus on everything, it seems like nothing ever gets done. And that is a stressful place. Plus you have multiple projects. And when you bounce between those projects or those things you're working on, it's hard for your mind to be able to get back into it. You know what I mean? Right? So if you're working on something and somebody interrupts you, it can feel hard to get back into it. Well, imagine though you were working on something and then you left and you went to something else. And then when you come back, you're trying to figure out where to pick it up where you left off. And so aspects get missed, steps in the process get missed, and you feel super disorganized. So that is the first of the 5, trying to focus on everything. And so at the end, I'm going to give you solutions to these. Okay. Number 2, you're honoring other people's agendas. Yes, I'll do this thing for this person over here. And yeah, I'm going to do this thing for this person over here. But when do you and your items and your agenda get to be at the top? So often I see female business leaders who are really struggling because they have so many other people's agendas that they're trying to meet and so many roles that they're trying to ace. And it's hard. It's so hard. And so when you honor other people's agendas, you get put on the back burner. You are at the bottom. And naturally, moms, wives, kind women, people who like to serve, they put everyone ahead of themselves. And so you can feel disorganized even in like what's going to be made for dinner because you're busy serving. So are you honoring other people's agendas, or is there enough time in your schedule where you're honoring your own agenda, your own goals, your own projects, your own desires and hobbies and needs? A lot of times I hear from clients, they're neglecting their health because they're honoring other people's agendas. There's just too many other things to do. Number 3, you have too many goals or no clear goals at all. I see the extreme of both. Of like, these are the 50 things I want to accomplish this year. And even if you're like, I don't say 50, I say like 10. 10's still a lot of things to say that you want to accomplish in a year or in a certain time period. And the other flip side is no goals. And the people don't maybe say, I have no goals, but they're working on things without having the goals be alive, without the goals being something that they're actually actively like checking in with and working on. So when you have too many, you set yourself up to be completely disorganized because you've got so many things vying for your attention, right? That's the trying to focus on everything. And on the flip side, when you have no clear goals, you just kind of deal with or focus on whatever is happening. That's also not good because that's also disorganized in the way that there's no clear focus of where you're going to put your time, energy, and money, your resources. Number 4, no plan or process to follow. So maybe you have goals, right? You're like, I know what I want to achieve, but then you don't have a process or a plan to follow. Being organized is having a system, a plan, a process to follow. If you're disorganized, you don't have a plan or a process, then you're just kind of grabbing at straws. You're doing whatever kind of pops up in your mind. There's no timeline. There's no milestones. There's nothing really helping you to make sure you stay on track so that by the end of the year or by the end of, a certain realistic amount of time that you've completed the action, you've completed that goal. So no plan or process to follow. Is that you? Is that something that you are missing out on? I love hearing from you. And one of the ways I do is when you review the podcast. And the review I'm sharing today is from Paula Kent, who has also been someone interviewed on this podcast. and she is reviewing the How to Dress Like a Trailblazer episode. And she says, excellent podcast, insightful questions by the host, and grounded information from Scarlett. She shared the importance of embracing your strengths and being who you are today to put yourself forward confidently, to blaze those trails. So thank you very much, Paula, for your review. You're going to be getting something special in the mail, so stay tuned. And if you would like to review the podcast and get something special in the mail for you, then please do so on your favorite platform. And then stay tuned to hear your review read in one of our future episodes. And the last piece, number 5 of the things that are stopping you from being organized, no accountability to reach your goals. Right? So you may have a plan. You may have goals. Then you may have a plan, but do you have the accountability to push you through the hard times, the accountability to help you to see the celebrations, to see the wins and help you celebrate them? Do you have accountability to know the right strategy to put in place? Do you have the accountability just for those check-in points, milestones, right? So, I'm going to be checking in with somebody and I need to have that done. You get much more organized when someone else is going to look at what you're doing, or when you have to be accountable to somebody else. Now, why is this happening? Why are we feeling disorganized? Well, because we're busy and we are ambitious and there's lots of things that we want to do, but we need to have these things in place. Right? We need to know exactly what we're focusing on. We need to be honoring our own agenda. We need to have some goals, not too many, just a few, like 3 to 5 major goals for the year. We need to have a plan for that. And then we need some accountability to keep us on track and help us to reach our goals or go beyond the goals. Isn't that better? To go beyond the finish line. And so a lot of times when we start a business, we have a business plan. But is it a living plan? Is it something that we keep coming back to check in with? Most of the time, the answer is no. And what I know is that a lot of business owners, a lot of female business leaders, while they maybe see the importance of a business plan, they don't have a yearly plan. They don't have a dynamic plan. Dynamic plans are pretty important. Now, what does that even mean, a dynamic plan? A dynamic plan is a plan that you set that is so true for your life, that there's been a process that you go through in order to be very clear about the specific things that you are going to work on and how that's going to happen and when that's going to happen. Dynamic plans also are alive in that you are checking in with them, you are reviewing them, and dynamic in the way that they have the ability to change. So if something isn't working, you can change that. And also, with it being alive, means you water it, you feed it, right? You put some time and energy into it. And there's accountability on the plan so that you can start to check off parts of it. When you have the plan and other opportunities come your way, you can look at it and go, oh, should I say yes to this or should I say no? Is it in alignment with my values, my guidelines, my theme for the year? My new paradigm, is that do I need to tap into that to help me to be able to say yes to something? When a dynamic plan is on also one sheet of paper, not like a business plan that might end up being like 15 pages or more, one page. The simplicity of it helps you to be organized. When you check in on that plan every day, you will be more organized in your actions. You'll also be more confident. Isn't that always a good thing? So rather than having so many things have you be disorganized, you focus on creating a proper plan, the right plan, a dynamic plan for your year to help you to be able to be organized in where am I spending my time or investing my time? Where am I investing my energy? Where am I investing my money? Because when you have the plan, it's so easy to know this is where it's going. This is where it's going. You don't have decision fatigue, and that often happens. And when we have decision fatigue, we don't make decisions. We don't go to the next step. And then we can get very disorganized, right? Because we're not taking action. So think right now, which one of these 5 are you like, oh, guilty as charged? Totally, that's the one that I do. I need to get over that piece. That obstacle is stopping me from being organized. And yes, I could have talked about how to organize your computer files, how to organize your items. That's a little bit different. Here we're looking at how do we organize the things that I put my time into in my life. And so if you haven't yet, I really encourage you to check out Dynamic Year. It is a program that helps you to get to that place of having a one-page plan by us going through a very simple process, simple yet super effective, that helps you to have a one-page plan for your year so you can actually be organized. So Dynamic Year, I've had the retreat. That was amazing. Next week is our one-day event, but I'm also now bringing out a 3-week series because I know that for some people, they want to break that time up, have more time to digest. And so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be more than likely launching it for the first 3 Tuesdays of February so that you can really have that time to digest, that time to go through it all. And so I encourage you to check it out. I'll put the link in so that you can go and see and be part of it. Because if you want to be organized in 2022, if you want to be organized in the next 12 months, this is going to do it. And the other piece around, right, you're going to have the right amount of goals. You're going to have the right plan and process to follow. And you're going to have accountability, because the cool thing is when the program ends, it doesn't end. It doesn't just end, right? We don't just leave you. You get to then have quarterly calls with me and some other female business leaders to be able to keep you accountable to all those goals that you have set for yourself. So wishing you a very organized week and go and check it out. Like, what if joining it could just bring you back some sanity? Would it be worth it? If joining Dynamic Year could help you to be organized and get one more client this year, would it be worth it? If taking the Dynamic Year program could increase your income by even $1,000, would it be worth it? What if it could strengthen relationships because you're more organized? Would it be worth it? And the amount of things that I have seen the women do in such short periods of time because of Dynamic Year, the plan, the process, the accountability, amazing, absolutely amazing. Writing books, living out the dream to downsize and move into an RV. I have seen projects happen. I have seen businesses launch. So many amazing, amazing things. I can't even remember all of them, but it's worth it. So go check it out. Thank you for joining me today on the Dynamic Women podcast. I really hope this helps you to get more organized in your life. Why don't you let me know, which of the 5 different mistakes do you feel like you're suffering with, and which of my tips is going to help you to get more organized in your life? And if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. Until next time, stay dynamic. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.